Hello and welcome back to Kim's Cozy Corner. Today I am going to continue working on setting up things for my indoor growth space. In my indoor growth space, I have 2 GreenStalks set up, and it's time to add some additional vegetables, or I should say seeds, to get them started because I want transplants as I continue to add to this indoor growth space. So I do have a few transplants right here that we're going to up pot them so that they have a little more room to grow. And these, they were on their last leg, y'all. They were on their last leg. I did not water them. They were crispy when I went to add them into my GreenStalk that's just behind me here. And I gave them a little bit of water and a little bit of nutrition, and they've bounced back. So we want to get these up potted so they can continue to stretch their legs, as I like to say, and continue to grow until I'm ready to put them into a container of some kind. And in addition to those that we're going to up pot, I'm also going to start some seeds that I already have the containers here for them. We're going to start some seeds because I need to keep the lettuce coming, y'all. I do not want to buy anything from the grocery store when it comes to vegetables. And so if I can keep the harvest coming all through the winter months, we're doing what I'm trying to do. We're doing the thing. So the few plants that I'm going to start include, I'm going to start a butter crunch. And butter crunch is one of my favorite types of lettuce. And so we'll start more butter crunch to keep that going. Cimarron. I tried to grow cimarron this year, and I was unable to get this particular lettuce to do what I needed it to do. I had bad soil, and then it was too hot. So I never got a chance to enjoy the cimarron lettuce this year. Cimarron is a romaine leaf lettuce, and it has a tight, upright head, and is ruby red in color. I'm also going to start some dark rodent, and my dark rodent is from Gurney's. And I'm going to put a picture right here because Gurney's do not put pictures of their vegetables on their packets, but it's from Gurney's Seed and Nursery Company. And here's the picture. Dark rodent is a leaf lettuce. Dark rodent, a red leaf lettuce. Now, another company I like to buy my seeds from is Burpee. Now, Burpee, you can usually get the Burpee seeds out of your grocery stores, your Walmarts, places like that. But if you go to the Burpee's website to buy seeds, typically there are no pictures. And so I have this dynamite lettuce, and I got it from Burpee's, and here's a picture of the dynamite. And this dynamite is one of my favorite lettuce. It's cream of the butterhead crop is what it says. It stands out for sweet flavor. It's blight resistant, but we don't have to worry about that. We're in our indoor growth space. It grew beautifully in my indoor growth space last winter, and so we'll get some of that started. Now, in addition to starting a few more lettuces, I am going to attempt to start some cucumbers and see if I can get them to grow in my indoor growth space. Now, cucumbers, in order for them to grow in an indoor growth space, you're going to have to hand pollinate the flowers. So you're going to have to, take the pollen and put it inside the bloom on the end of the little cucumbers to get them to grow. And so we're going to attempt to do it. We'll have to see how it goes, but we're going to try. And so considering that we're going to be in the indoor growth space, I'm thinking I need a type or types of cucumbers that have a more compact vining pattern or a bush pattern. And so there are 2 bush cucumbers I'm going to start. I'm going to start this Space Master 80, and it's great for container gardening, it says. And so we'll start that one. we're going to try to start some pickle bush. And the reason why I'm doing 3 different kinds is because this pickle bush, I think I had some germination issues with that back in the spring. So I'm not sure if these seeds are viable. So we're going to make sure that I'm planting a variety of seeds just in case some of my seeds are not viable. So the pickle bush are only 2-foot plants. So that would be perfect for my indoor grow space. And then the last one, which by the way was my favorite cucumber in the garden, and it's called Wisconsin SMR. Now, this past summer was the first time that I ever planted this Wisconsin SMR. And I got it from M.I. Gardener, and it was the most productive cucumber in the whole garden. And honestly, it's not a compact plant at all. But I'm going to start it anyway. And if I need to run that plant around the back walls of my indoor grow space, we'll just do that because I really love this cucumber. And then it's bok choy season, y'all. I am going to start, and I got this bok choy, I believe, from one of the big box stores. But we're going to do some bok choy. And I love bok choy. Ooh-wee! And I already have a place saved for it in my GreenStalk. I have a couple empty pockets. So once we get these germinated and it's time to transplant, we're going to go straight to the GreenStalk with this bok choy. But that's all I'm starting right now. And we will keep different things coming in. I want to always have a transplant ready to go. And you'll be like, well, what if you have more transplants and you don't have anywhere to put it because there's no space for it yet? When I think about how many seeds, so for example, in my garden seeds are, let me see here. Do I have some in my garden? Yes, I do. In my garden seeds are like $2 a pack. I mean, it's not bad at all. $2 for a pack of seeds. And in this Butter Crunch lettuce packet, there are 1,000 seeds. So if I plant too many transplants, I really haven't lost anything. There's no way I can go through 1,000 seeds before they'll lose the viability. So I think I'm okay by going ahead and starting these. And I'll find somewhere to put them, y'all. I'll put them anywhere. I'll have plants all over my house. Y'all know how I like to do things. So those are the seeds I'm going to plant. And we're going to transplant these items. So let's start working on this transplanting. Now, I had some questions in the comments regarding my indoor grow space. And so I want to take a moment while I'm doing this transplanting to answer some of those questions. One of the questions that came up was, do I ever have an issue with bringing pests indoors after bringing plants indoors from my outdoor garden? And the answer is yes, you do run the risk of bringing pests indoors. So do I have a fungus gnat here or there? Yes, but I've never been overrun by them. I use this sticky tape. And so here's a better picture of it. I got it on Amazon. And this sticky tape, it looks like little butterflies and other shapes. What are a bird, a flower, a butterfly? They just look like little cute shapes. And it's sticky. And so when that gnat hits it, they're stuck, they're done, they're not going anywhere. And so for the few that come indoors, when I bring things indoors, this is what I use. Now, I have heard that some indoor grow space get completely overrun by pests, specifically the fungus gnats. And I've never been completely overrun. When I am starting new seedlings, I sterilize my soil. So my seedling mix, I sterilize it before I start seedlings, but I've already done that for what I have here. And so none of the eggs can hatch from starting new seedlings. But if they get in and you are becoming overrun by your fungus gnats or other pests like that, I have heard of people bringing in a few ladybugs to help with that pest pressure. Now, I've never brought ladybugs in my indoor grow space, but I have bought ladybugs for outdoors in my garden to help with insects or the unwanted insects. So not a big issue with fungus gnats or any other pest yet. I'm not saying I never will, but no big issues yet. And if they become an issue, we'll just have to deal with it. But I need my indoor grow space because I don't want to buy this stuff at the grocery store. All right, so let's start moving this stuff into new containers. If you've never done a lot of seed starting, if you start your seeds in teeny little cells like these right here, and you're not ready to transplant them into their final home, then you're going to need to up pot them so the roots got room to grow. So for example, this is Lala Rosa. And so we're going to do the Lala Rosa. All right, we're going to do 3 spots. I'm so happy to see the roots of this thing looking so much better. So if you'll notice, the roots on this particular plant are all wrapped around at the bottom there. We need to give them more room to spread their legs. And so when you are transplanting, you want to get them back in the pocket to the same height that they were already planted. And then that way they got room to keep growing. Now, once your plants have broken ground and, your seedlings have come up, then that's when you want to start adding a little bit of nutrition to the soil. So whether we're talking a liquid fertilizer, you want it to be low and slow. These little seedlings, they don't need a lot of fertilizer. If you want to find the quickest way to kill a young plant, put too much fertilizer on it. Read the container for whatever fertilizer you're using, and it'll give you the best way to feed young seedlings. So there's 3 Lala Rosas, and we're going to put this winter landis in these other pockets. Now, I put way too much soil in here. Let me pull some of it out. And y'all look, this winter landis right here, these 2 dead. They didn't make it. They didn't come back. So these other 3, they looking pretty good. The root structure still looks good. So we're going to get those transplanted into bigger pockets. And I'm transplanting all of these. So this is a Pablo. We're going to get that one transplanted over as well. And I will bring you back once I'm finished doing this. And then I will do a really, really quick tutorial on how to start seeds. I have other videos out there on how to do it, but I'll give a quick tutorial as soon as I get these transplanted. Now that we're done up potting all of these transplants right here, we are going to start the seeds. For the seeds, I'm going to do 2 pockets of every seed that I have. And for seeds, y'all, I got shaky hands. I can't wear those gloves when I'm doing seedlings. Doing seeds. I can't wear those gloves. So I am going to do, for the lettuce, I'm going to put, I don't know, maybe 4 seeds or so in each one of these little pockets. And then I'll have to thin them out later. They're just so small, I can't get them out any other way. Okay, so we will get started. Always follow your seed packet on how deep to plant your seeds. So for this butter crunch, it tells me that I should plant these, let's see where it says it here, 1/4 of an inch deep. And there are many different tools out there that'll help you with determining how deep to plant. But seeds are very forgiving. And I'll be honest with you, I don't measure anymore. I just drop them in the pocket. And I said I wanted like 4 or 5 seeds. I think that's like 10 or 15. But I get them in there. And then I just push them down about 1/4 of an inch. I just stir them up, y'all. That's all I'm doing. I'm stirring them in. Once I know they're stirred in really good, I call it good. This little tool right here does have measuring on the side of it, so I can see what a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch or an 1/8 of an inch, but I don't look at it. I'm not going to lie, I don't. The seeds, if they're viable, they're going to come up. And that's it. And I'm going to do that for all of the rest of these seeds. And I'll bring you back when I'm finished, or if I have something enlightening that I would like to share with you. I will show you how to water your seedlings once I get all of these pockets filled. So we will take a couple of minutes to talk about that as well, because anybody can do this. You don't have to have a huge grow tent. You can do this too. When I first started doing this, I didn't have a grow tent. I just had pots all over my house upstairs in direct sunlight so that they could grow. And then I later worked up to an indoor grow space. So don't feel like not having the room for an indoor grow space can keep you from growing. The one thing I forgot to tell you is I like to just tap down the pockets once I get the seedlings in there. It's not something you have to do. I just do it. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just a step I like to do. As we're talking about the seedlings, I do not buy new seeds every year. Your seeds are viable for more than 1 year. The expiration date has more to do with the people selling the seeds, because you can't sell seeds for multiple years. They have to be sold that year that they were packed. But at home, you just keep using them until they're not viable anymore. And year after year, you'll notice that they will start germinating fewer and fewer seeds to the point where you know that they're just not any good anymore. But don't throw them away just because it has an expiration date. That's not for us, the consumer. That's for the growers. But you need to know when the seeds were packaged so you can get an idea of just how old they are from a viability standpoint. But don't throw them away. Just keep using them. And store your seeds in a cool, darker area. So you don't want them in a lot of direct sunlight and a lot of heat. You want it to be a nice dry area. I use the photo cases. So this is a case for photos, and they have these little containers, and I put my seeds in those. So they're in a dark color, in my mind, to keep the light off of it. And they're in a dark container as well to keep that light down. And then I do have some away in a drawer as well. So it's nice and dark. It's always cooler downstairs in the basement where I am. And so that's just where I keep my seeds. And it's worked for many years now. Now we're going to move over to these cucumbers. For the cucumbers, it says plant them 1 inch deep. And these are big enough, I can just pour these into my hand. I'm putting 2 cucumber seeds in each pocket. So this is pickle bush. And I'll do the same thing for all of these. And y'all, this is an experiment. I have seen people grow cucumbers indoors. I've seen it. I know it's possible. I have just never done it before. So we will learn this together on whether or not this will work. I love M.I. Gardener's seed packs because they have this glue here where you can reseal the packs. You don't have to worry about losing your seeds. I wish more seed companies would do that. Oh, life would be so much better if they did. I hate losing seeds, and I'm like, where did that seed come from? So we're going 1 inch deep, which, again, I'm just going to push it down until it feels right. In the spring, I definitely use my seed starting mix. It's because I plant hundreds of seeds. And when I'm planting those hundreds of seeds, I want to make sure I know what I'm working with. Right now, I'm working with end of season seed starting mix. I'm working with compost and potting soil. So it's kind of all mixed together right now. So it's not typically how I would do it in the spring, but I have so much leftover material, I need to use it. Now, I did sterilize it as well before I started these seeds, but we'll just have to see how that goes. All right, and so now we're going to move over to the bok choy. Bok choy is 1/4 of an inch deep, and these are teeny little seeds. Ooh, they so small. Y'all wish me luck on putting like 2 seeds in each pocket. That ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. Okay, that was about 3. Oops, that was 3 or 4. I'm not sure. We will get the bok choy seeds 1/4 of an inch under the ground here, under this dirt, under this soil. Now, I have it all in here, right? I have my transplants right here of the different types of lettuce that I've already started. And I have the new seeds that I started today. And we are going to, one, water them in and move them into the grow space. So let's first talk about how I like to water those in. When you're watering your young seedlings, I like to water them from the bottom, and you should always water your seedlings from the bottom. And so I just take a container, I put water in the bottom, and your containers will soak that water up from the bottom. And this way you won't have soggy bottoms. You soak it up from the bottom, and once it stops soaking in all of that liquid, pour the rest of the liquid off, because you don't want your root system to, rot away because they're sitting in water. You don't want them left sitting in water. And so I am going to I'm going to pour just a little bit more because this soil was completely dry. I'm going to let these containers pull in that water. And while it's doing that, I'm going to move this over to the grow space so you can see where we're going to put them. Now, this isn't really an update on my indoor grow space, but since I'm here, we might as well show you how things are doing. Now, it has been less than a week since I transplanted all of this lettuce in the top here, and y'all, they were on the last legs. They weren't happy at all. And look how well they're doing now. Look at this. They're green. They're coming back. Well, that one's not. That one's gone forever. It's completely wilted. But the one beside it is looking good. And remember, I talked about the gnat for the insects inside. Here's one of those sticky traps that I was talking about. I just put those in my grow space in a couple different places to try to capture any of those fungus gnats that may be out there. But these things are looking great. Even the radishes are healthy again. They weren't looking so good, and now they're green and they're full. This tomato plant right here is getting ready to bloom, and they're green and they're healthy. And I have lights all around this GreenStalk, but I still give it maybe 1/4 of a turn every day or so, just to make sure that it's getting even lighting all the way around. For this container in the back here, I am overwintering peppers in this container, and I have my little sticky animals in this one as well. And it looks like they're budding, y'all. They're blooming, not blooming, but they're still alive. That's what I'm trying to say. They're still alive. They're not dying, so that frost didn't get them. And hopefully we can get these overwintered and take them back out next year. And it's an experiment. We'll see what happens. If they die during the winter, I'll just pull them out and put some lettuce or something else in there. So we'll definitely keep something going in both of these GreenStalks. Now let's get back over here to those transplants. So if you can see here, the water is almost gone out of this container. There's not much left in it. I'm probably going to need to add a little bit more as we try to hydrate this soil. Let's just go ahead and do that now, because it's going to take all of this and a little bit more. But I am under one of my shop lights right here. This shop light has grow lights in it, and I am going to lower this shop light Oh, that's a little too low. So I have the shop light about 4 inches above the containers because I have 2 different size containers in here. And that's where I'm going to leave the shop light until the plants get too close to the light, and then I'll raise it up a little bit more. But these plants are ready to go. These seedlings are ready to go, and we will watch them grow. Thanks for joining me for another short video. We're going to keep these indoor garden videos coming all winter long. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on those notifications. Those notifications will let you know every time a new video drops. Until next time, and I hope there will be a next time. Bye.